How far off is the clock now?
We're on time. Ish. Good morning and welcome to the Berry County Board of Commissioners meeting for August 26, 2025. If you would please stand for our Pledge of Allegiance and our invocation. Heavenly Father, we just thank you for a beautiful day in Berry County. We ask that you guide our decisions. Let us think about the people that we were elected to represent. Let us just be mindful of everything in our county that we can do to help our county be a better place to live, work, and play. In your name we pray. Amen. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you. For purposes of attendance, Madam Clerk, would you call the roll?
Bassett. Here. Carlton.
Here.
Campbell.
Here.
Getty. Here. Hatfield.
Here.
Smelker.
Here.
Tunison.
Here.
And Jackson.
Here. Thank you. Reports from state and county officials. Are there any state or county officials with us this morning that would like to give an update to the board? Good morning, Liz.
Good morning. Can you hear me okay? All right. Liz Lenz, coordinator of the Berry County Substance Abuse Task Force, prevention supervisor for Berry County Community Mental Health Authority. So there is a boat of uncertainty that many of us are in, and that is about budgets and funding for fiscal year 2026. And so prevention funding, substance use disorder and behavioral health prevention funding is also in that boat. And I wanted to bring you up to speed with what we know and answer any questions that you might have. So as I mentioned, it's uncertainty, and nothing is for sure. And right now, as I stand, prevention budgets have been submitted for fiscal year 2026, and we can all knock on wood, fingers crossed, wishes, prayers, whatever, that everything just falls into place come October 1 and funding is completely intact. And I think that's what we all wish for. As I mentioned, that uncertainty tells us that we have to begin to think otherwise. So in June, end of June, early July, the President of the United States issued a budget proposal, and that eliminated significant funding for prevention, substance use prevention services nationwide, federally, including a large grant that we receive here in Berry County called the Partnership for Success. So Berry County Community Mental Health is the fiduciary for the Substance Abuse Task Force, which was granted that large grant in I'm not good with numbers. I think 2023 was our first year. So we're just finishing year 2, and October 1 we'll head into year 3. Normally, we have a signed notice of award, about May 1st. We submit everything in January as we're required for the next year. And on May 1st, we get everything signed, sealed, and delivered, and we know we're good for the next fiscal year. This year, that uncertainty is such that here I am on September 9th, 21 days before the beginning of a new fiscal year with no signed notice of award. And we've been told that they may not get signed. We do meet with our federal grant project officers, and they are as concerned about the uncertainty, but I really have no answers. I just checked our database this morning, ERA Commons, to see what the status is of that continuation notice of award, and it still remains unmoved. So I want you to know that I kind of just want to go over the piece of paper that I put in front of you and then answer any questions. So Right now, in fiscal year 2025, prevention, substance use and behavioral health prevention is funded through a mix of sources. We diversify intentionally so that we don't have to face these uncertainties. The block grant that we receive federally through SWIMBA provides funding, as well as that Partnership for Success grant. SWIMBA, Southwest Michigan Behavioral Health, provides time-limited grants, such as they call it the SOR grant, and it's an opioid response grant. I believe it's in its last year, fiscal 26. Local PA2 liquor tax funds and local grants and local funding. And also, additionally, one that's not mentioned there is the marijuana oversight and operations grant that we work with the county to use those funds. So because the president's budget and the U.S. appropriations, House Appropriations Bill, have chosen to eliminate some substance use prevention funding, this remains uncertain. The Senate House Appropriations Bill, we're talking federally, continues and maintains funding. So we have 21 days for that all to play out with the federal budgeting process, and we just don't know what's going to happen, right? The task force, and I mentioned that we're hoping to enter into year 3 of that very large grant, which lets us do some just amazing work in the community with many, many partners. And we do expect that Southwest Michigan Behavioral Health, that we could see some reduced fundings in the funding in the next fiscal years as well. So, instability at both federal and state levels places prevention at risk. Let me tell you, you can read that list. I don't need to go over it for you. You know all the things that we do. We are a myriad of an interconnected web of activities, multiple activities on multiple levels, and they're all intentional. They're designed that way to follow a strategic plan. We get our information from media. We always have. Ben Franklin started writing Poor Richard's Almanac and newspapers. By the way, Ben Franklin is famous for an ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure, as you know. But media is different. So we have to spend a lot of money and time and intentionality in how we get messaging to people and how we do outreach and how we provide services in the prevention realm. And as you know, prevention is so unique because we don't see what it stops because it doesn't happen. Right? So we also are involved in early intervention, and I can tell you how we're adapting. We are pursuing other funding sources. We have always had a history of going after any pot of money. No pot of money is too small or too big. I'd like to try the too big, but we've been known to apply for grants for $500, and just see what we can make happen with $500 in other pots of funds. An example would be the vaping disposal boxes, and as you know, we do a lot with a little to try to believe that these dollars belong to the people of Berry County, and so we really try to get as much out to folks as possible. We will be engaging local partners to support specific programs or initiatives, especially suicide prevention and some things like mental health first aid. Those things are all very, very important during uncertainty, especially. We will review and prioritize our strategies to maintain the highest impact services. We have a strategic plan. We just finished a strategic plan for the Substance Abuse Task Force, so we'll listen to what we saw there, but we'll also know that each time we receive news about funds or not having funds, that might change those priorities. We'll have to decide. We might have to talk to people about what they want to see continue. And then, of course, advocacy with our federal and state leaders. We have 21 days left. You might be able to reach out to our federal legislators and talk to them about the fact that when this money gets here on this local level, it really does have a broad and tremendous impact. And I can stand here and talk about numbers all day if you're interested. And the next steps would be just to monitor federal and state funding decisions closely. I'll provide you an additional update as soon as we know anything in October. I will tell you that we're scheduling services. We're not telling people no. We're scheduling scheduling services into October and November already, as is customary, especially with school-based services, especially substance use prevention, suicide prevention, and life skills education. Our kids matter, and somebody has to be there sharing that information so that when they do go home, what parents and caregivers are saying has been reinforced in their places of education or in their community. Do you have any questions?
It's a lot of information. You've done a good job of keeping us updated on what's going on, but we are aware of some of that. We're aware of some of the state potential changes in funding for community mental health. There's a lot of things in flux right now. No answers are there, but
We are not the only ones in this boat. The boat is getting bigger.
and the concern is growing as we get closer to the deadline without any answers, and it doesn't appear like there's any real negotiation at the state level at this point. Hopefully some things going on behind the scenes that we don't know about, but
Right. And we haven't received, we are a member of CADCA, which is our association for substance use and prevention coalitions across the nation. And we haven't received many updates. As you know, federally, everybody returned to Washington last week, but we don't know if appropriations and budgetary discussions are underway. For us, a lot of our funding begins federally and comes either directly through federal grants or comes through the way of state funding, which originates there. So thank you. Any other questions? Or
any other questions from commissioners?
We know that you've done a good job explaining how it's affecting substance prevention and programs in Berry County, but how is it affecting where we send folks for services like Pine Rest and our residential programming and
That's a question that I don't know that I can answer. I think right now places have funding. As I mentioned, we submitted our budgets on time as required, and get it all signed, sealed, and delivered. And we're anticipating, for example, SWIMBA has told us that our budget that was submitted in June should be funded as planned. I can't speak to how places like Pine Rest or residential places, I can't speak to that. I don't know that, I think it's something that will have this is just my thought, is that I think we'll start to see trickle down should funding not come forward or be officially granted on October 1st. We know that, again, we don't always see prevention at work. We delivered over 1,500 Narcan kits to date so far this year. We don't know how many of those have been used. We don't ask people to tell us. So if we can't be out there delivering Narcan, and we know that's a sensitive issue, but if we can't deliver that Narcan and make that available, does somebody suffer the loss of a life due to an overdose fatality? Does somebody suffer the ramifications of an overdose, luckily not fatal, but still remain living in a place where they live in addiction and not recovery? I don't know. Catherine, your question, I'm afraid I haven't answered it. I'm sorry.
I think like a lot of things, we're going to wait and see what the consequences are.
Okay. We
Okay.
appreciate the update. Thank you.
Thank you for letting me update you.
Yeah, absolutely. Any additional updates from state or county officials? Hearing none, limited public comment at this time. Any member of the public wishing to address the board may do so for up to 3 minutes for any items on our agenda this morning. Hearing none, approval of written agenda. At this time, any member of the Board of Commissioners may ask for an item to be removed from the consent agenda and placed under items for consideration. Hearing no such request, does any commissioner wish to change the agenda additionally? Hearing no such request, the agenda is approved as written. Various correspondence. Does any commissioner have correspondence they'd like to share with the board? Commissioner Bassett.
Yes, thank you. So I have received a continuing correspondence from constituents on Mud Lake, and I've talked about it here. Most recently, the parties have contacted, let's let's see, Representative Schmidt, Congressman Slotkin, some other, people in the legislature, in addition to people at the EPA. So they continue their campaign to, try to get help with that. So just wanted to make you aware of that. I'm not sure you're copied on it, so.
I'm copied on most of it. It's a pretty good, aggressive campaign. They are reaching out to a lot of people, so. Thank you.
That's all I have. Thank you.
Any additional correspondence? Okay, consent agenda. Commissioner Bassett.
Yes. I make a motion for the items on the consent agenda. Number 1, approval of the August 26, 2025 Board of Commissioners meeting minutes. Approval to accept $10,000 from 270 Incorporated for the purpose of the Trap, Neuter, and Release program. And approval to spend up to $6,000 for repairs to Podunk Lake Dam structure.
Thank you. Is there support?
Support.
Motion by Bassett, support by Tunison for all items listed on the consent agenda. Discussion is not allowed and a roll call vote is required. All those in favor vote aye. Opposed, vote nay. Madam Clerk, would you call the roll?
Bassett.
Aye.
Carlton.
Aye.
Campbell.
Aye.
Getty.
Aye.
Hatfield.
Aye.
Smelker.
Aye.
Tunison.
Aye.
And Jackson.
Aye. The consent agenda is approved. This morning, we have no presentations and no public hearings. Items for consideration. Commissioner Smelker.
I move for the approval of prepaid invoices in the amount of $3,569,878.44.
Is there support?
Support.
Motion by Smelker, support by Getty for approval of the prepaid invoices in the amount of $3,569,878.44. Discussion. Hearing none. Madam Clerk, would you call the roll?
Carlton.
Aye.
Campbell.
Aye.
Getty.
Aye.
Hatfield.
Aye.
Smelker.
Aye.
Tunison.
Aye.
Bassett.
Aye.
And Jackson.
Aye. The motion is approved.
I move for the approval of claims in the amount of $89,395.81.
Is there support?
Support, Campbell.
Motion by Smelker, support by Campbell for approval of claims in the amount of $89,395.81. Discussion? Hearing none. Madam Clerk, would you call the roll?
Campbell.
Aye.
Getty.
Aye.
Hatfield.
Aye.
Smelker.
Aye.
Tunison.
Aye.
Bassett.
Aye.
Carlton.
Aye.
And Jackson.
Aye. The motion is approved.
I move for the approval of commissioner reimbursements mileage in the amount of $413.
Is there support?
Support, Campbell.
Motion by Smelker, support by Campbell for approval of commissioner reimbursement mileage in the amount of $413. Discussion? Madam Clerk, would you call the roll?
Getty.
Aye.
Hatfield.
Aye.
Smelker.
Aye.
Tunison.
Aye.
Bassett.
Aye.
Carlton.
Aye.
Campbell.
Aye.
And Jackson.
Aye. The motion is approved. Unfinished business, we have none. New business, we have none. County Administrator's report.
Morning, Mr. Chair, Commission. A few things going on in the county right now. Yesterday kicked off the fourth of our fifth labor union negotiations, so we're knee-deep in 4 active negotiations. We have one final one that has yet to start, but that typically, as I understand, they wait till some of the contracts get settled and then they come in and hopefully make that one easy at that point. Commissioner Smelker's been a good help with the commission, and then our attorney is new this year with the process, not new to the county, but new to our negotiating team. Has been a great help. So hopefully we'll continue to strive forward and get that done before the end of the year. ERP software, we will have a recommendation for you at the first October meeting.
Okay.
For the direction we're going to go with the ERP software. As you may recall, that's the core of what we do from a finance perspective and payroll and HR. That software expires, end of life is in early 2027. So as we've been under a time crunch for a bit, and it's taken us a bit to get where we're at, but I think the team is unanimous in the direction we're going with this. So I think it was worth an extra effort to get to here where we need to go. Healthcare cost containment meetings coming up next week. As you may have seen some of the news out there, Blue Cross is really hitting small businesses hard. From early indications from the pools will be less than the average, so being in the pools really helping us. But we'll have final numbers next week when we sit down with the committee and really start to look at what options are for 2026. And obviously, with the changes to PA 152 out there, we'll see what happens. That was the one that was passed last year, but not sent forward, so it's in the courts. Haven't heard anything new lately. Hopefully, that's where it stays for now. Brownfield Authority, I promise I got a couple more things. Brownfield Authority is discussing another Brownfield grant application to EPA, since we've about spent what we received last year for the $400,000. So there's a brainstorming session coming up on that with our consultants and the Brownfield Authority. So it's been a great project. We've really helped a few projects move forward all across the county, in Delton, in Middleville, in Hastings, and some of the townships. So really a good tool for the county, and I think we're leaning towards applying for next year, but we'll have that for you to consider here in the near future. And two last things. Our host agreement with Waste Management is up in the near future for the landfill. So we'll be, Rachel France and I are starting negotiations with them on a renewal. With the whole materials management change, they needed to change anyways. So I think we're getting ahead of this a little bit to try and get those changes incorporated and things moving forward. I think that's next week as well. No, it's Friday, actually. We're meeting on Friday. And then last thing is, Morgan from the Animal Shelter will be here probably in October, late October, early November. To give her annual update. We've had a few concerns sent our way lately. We'll be addressing those and trying to get a little more proactive. We're at capacity with dogs. We're at capacity with cats. We're at the point we're fostering them out because we don't have room in the building. It's a cyclical thing, but sometimes it's, as the economy and people aren't doing as well, we end up with more animals, more surrenders, more strays. So I just wanted it on your radar, and it's something that we will be addressing here in the very near future with you, and just providing some info for the community. But as I said, a few things going on with the county. A whole bunch of other things. I could stand here for a while, but that's it for today.
All right. Thank you. Sure.
What is the capacity of cats and dogs?
27 dogs, and I believe it's 50 cats. And we just had a litter dropped off of cats that we had to have one of our ex-employees is fostering because we're just overrun with cats right now. And those tend to go. Morgan tells me those go. They come in, they eventually go, but it just takes a while. Some of the dogs we have for a bit. And because we're a no-kill shelter, less than 10% of our animals can be euthanized. See, fun things you get to learn in this job. So that really puts a constraint on our ability. If people aren't adopting them, it puts a constraint on our ability to really loosen that capacity. So unless they come in with diseases or they're violent, we just don't take dogs in and wait 10 days and euthanize them, as some places do. So just provide some operational issues. So we're at a point now, people call with strays, we work with them, say, here are the resources that are out there, here's some rescues, here's some other sources. But if not, we've had some people who had, for the weekend, they held on to a couple dogs. Not ideal, but it's a situation we have to deal with. So Morgan and her team are doing what they can, but we will continue to explore other options.
Any other questions? Thank you. Chairperson's report. I was at Hope Township last night. We'll be at Berry Township tonight and Rutland Township on Wednesday. Just getting started on the meeting cycle there. So, Vice Chairperson's report.
City Council last night, nothing to report from there. I did have several other meetings yesterday with Rutland Township and the city and the Joint Planning Commission regarding Myers. progress continues to be made there, but quite a bit of work yet to be done.
Awesome. Commissioner reports. Commissioner Tunison.
Meeting cycle's starting, so tonight I'll have Hastings Charter. That's about it.
Okay. Commissioner Campbell.
Thank you. I attended Maple Grove last week, Wednesday. They have just hired a new assessor down there. Also, last night I attended Syria Township last night. If anybody didn't know, we lost a very important board member down there, passed away, Jim Miller. They have like 5 generations of family that's been on the board and stuff. He was a really great guy. He's going to be missed, but there is an opening there that's going to be taking applications down into Syria up until October 4th. So if you know of anybody that'd be interested, they'll gladly take the application. And then thirdly, tonight I'll go down to Baltimore. Well, they too are going to hire a new assessor. So that's what's going on.
Thank you. Commissioner Smelker.
Attended Thornapple and Village of Freeport last night, and been heavy on negotiations.
We appreciate your effort there. Thank you. Commissioner Getty.
I also attended Thornapple last night. They appointed a new clerk, accepted the resignation of Cindy Ordway, and appointed Kathy Maidenblick. Sorry if I butchered her name. And this Thursday I have Yankee Springs Township. Also, Outdoor Youth Day is Saturday from 10 to 2 at Charlton Park. And Household Hazardous Waste is the following Saturday, the 20th, at the fairgrounds. And Heritage Day is in Middleville on Saturday also. Same day. Yeah, same day as Youth Day and Relay for Life. There's a lot of things happening this Saturday.
Okay. Outdoor Youth Day. Commissioner Colton.
I was at Village Woodland last night, Carlton Township. Tonight's Woodland Township. Thursday, the Village of Nashville, which will be an interesting discussion because we're learning in Nashville what a drain assessment district is. We all got bills for the necessary work that was done by Jim Dull and company to clear out the Thornapple River. And so we all got a little bill, what it's going to be for 3 years, a little map of the district. And a lot of people really never saw anything like that in Nashville before, like a drain assessment district. And I don't know, if someone once told me the drain commissioner is the most powerful person in the county because they can do that on their own. So we're getting an education with our pocketbooks, but I'm not criticizing it. It was necessary work, and people have to learn. And it's not that much money. Like from my house, it's like $15 a year. But a lot of people never seen anything like this in Nashville.
Surprise. Yeah. Commissioner Bassett.
Yeah, I went to the Orangeville Township meeting last week, and things have settled down with their fire chief, so they have appointed a fire chief, but at this meeting, they appointed an assistant fire chief, so that was good, and they also approved the position description for their new fire chief, so that meeting went well. And then went to Berry County Community Mental Health, and obviously a lot going on with conversations there. They appreciated our proposal, Proposition 2520, to oppose the privatization of the PHP, and then they also we approved a similar proposition at the board, and then we also approved to give our full special assessment to their PAC, CMHAM, which is their PAC, which is their advocacy group. And then we also approved the continuation budget for fiscal year 25. And then also, I had my tour last week with Dave Pellin with the county courts, and I came and went through this building and hopefully get out to some of the other buildings later. And I'll tell you, I highly recommend the tour. It's really nice to see all the departments, learn what they do. I mean, you know what more than I do, but meeting the people, it was really a very productive day, and I really enjoyed meeting everybody. So I do recommend that. Then this week, as Catherine said, we have Yankee Springs Township. We also have in Delton on Thursday night 911 memorial at our William Smith Park at 6 o'clock. And of course, Day of Caring is on Thursday. And I think that's all I have.
Okay. Thank you. Limited public comment at this time. Any member of the public wishing to address the board may do so for up to 3 minutes. Hearing none. Commissioner comments. Commissioner Bassett, anything else you'd like to add?
I think I'm good.
Commissioner Calton. Commissioner Getty. Commissioner Smoker. Commissioner Hatfield. Campbell.
Breakfast at the VFW Sunday morning,
Okay. Always good to know.
second Sunday.
Commissioner Tunison.
I'm good, Mr. Chair. Thanks.
Thank you. Okay, just a few notes. You will be receiving in your email, all commissioners will be receiving a performance review. Eric's been with us now a year, maybe slightly over a year, something like that. So it's something we do on an annualized basis, is especially being the first year, so we're sending out a performance review to all the commissioners and department heads for input. Most of what we received has been very good, but we have a formalized process we're going to go through. So I asked that if you could get that back to us within the week, that would be awesome. It's just got a scoring and rating system, and it helps us be aware of everything going on in the county. Good, bad, indifferent, whatever the case is. So, we had 30 years of Michael, very consistent. We have new leadership, new direction, new management styles. It's just nice to learn about what the feedback is. So we think it'll be positive, but just so you know, that'll be in your email, and we'd like all of you to get that out, as well as sending it out to the department heads. As Eric had also mentioned, I was on the Animal Shelter Advisory Committee for years before we kind of sunset that committee. We have received a couple emails from people who are frustrated with the process, but what we can't control is we are limited by space and by the state laws that govern us. So we can't have 100 cats in a 50-cat facility or 100 dogs in a 25-cat facility. So I get it. People are frustrated when they want to bring a stray or a lost pet or turn a pet in, and there's just not room for it at the time. So we do have our limitations. It's not a huge facility. We're addressing that, working with Morgan through some of those things. She's been doing an excellent job, but I also understand that people who don't know the workings and the laws and the space requirements that we're required to abide by are frustrated. So it is what it is, but we'll continue to work through it and keep you updated, and hopefully we'll have some positive reports from Morgan as well as they come forward. So anyways, thank you for attending this morning, our quick meeting. Commissioner Smoker?
I get a hard copy of that thing. My computer, I can't send it to you.
No, you have to do it online. I'm kidding. We will get you a hard copy of it. Yes, sir. Thank you.